How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. For this video, I wanted to toss out my thoughts on the newest stupid idea by DICE when it comes to Battlefield 1. I'm sure you've probably heard of it by now, but I am referencing Afflictions. So essentially, Afflictions hinder a player in one form or another, making the game more challenging. For example, the Scavenger Affliction only allows players to carry one magazine per weapon, creating the need for the player to switch kits with dead players on the fly. The statement made by DICE on Reddit says that while we've been attempting to make the weapon and service assignments more approachable for more players, the skilled players are now missing the element of challenge those used to provide. Afflictions aren't meant to fill that void. Personally, I think this is pure shit by DICE, for multiple reasons. The first being that they created Battlefield 1 to be more geared towards casual play. So what's the purpose of even trying to target better players, especially at this point of the game's life cycle? From what I've seen, the better players don't normally pay attention to the crappy service assignments to begin with, and the game never really had much of a progression system also. So, I mean, that would be something they need to look for into the future Battlefield game. Of course, that's already being in the process, and we'll be seeing more on it in the coming months. Hopefully, these are things that they're implementing and they're going to have fixed for the next game. Now, this also seems to be DICE's feeble attempt at possibly balancing the game without actually doing anything. It's like they hope this will get better players to be less skillful in order to lessen the skill gap between the upper tier and lower tier players. I personally see this as a lackadaisical approach and a bit of a slap in the face. Like, here's a crazy idea. How about just your balancing mechanics? Or is there any at all? Because it never really seems to be. Now, recently, I'm pretty sure they implemented a mid-round balancer. However, I haven't seen that come into play at all. Besides, the problem wasn't really mid-round balancing as much as pre-round balancing. Either one team would be outnumbered by a large margin, or one team seemingly had way more better players overall. Finding a better way to balance the game overall would be wonderful instead of throwing dumb ideas at the game in hopes that the players will essentially balance themselves. I mean, it's always been annoying to see one team outnumbered by 6 or more players, and then the game filling up the team with the most players first. Like, how the hell does that work? How is that any kind of balance at all? And all that leads us to a snowball effect where the team that had the most players to begin with starts stomping the opposing team, and then finally they start getting players, and the players who were in there to begin with quit out. Even with a mid-game balancer, like, you could switch people to that losing team, and they're gonna be like, I'm not gonna play for this crappy team, and they're just gonna quit out and go find another server. That's why we need better balancing overall, and they're just not going to give it to us in this game, and possibly not for the next game either, because they can't even figure out how to have decent spawns where you're not spawning in the open in front of a tank, so I don't know. Anyway, if I keep talking about this topic, I'm going to end up making myself upset, have a bad day, so I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Those are my thoughts on Afflictions. I really don't think this is a good approach by DICE. They need to do something else with the game. Here's a crazy idea that they could change the game that would be highly impactful and make the game more enjoyable. Get rid of suppression. I'll catch you guys in the next one. RAMTEID out.